So hopefully this works and it's a good time. It's got to be a good time because I am so freaking connected. But then I'm seeing that Buffalo Bill's restaurant that it's like was in the group. We saw the photo of it, so it's like I want to say that, but for some reason then I feel okay. I'll just go with whatever I get, but I'll just acknowledge that it's the picture from yesterday or whatever. But I feel like I'm there, so I'm just gonna stay there and be where they want me to be and quick question, and I'll just try to be it. I just feel like JJ wearing the little cowboy hat. Oh, and then there's the cowboy hat picture of you, but I mean, that I sent you, that I found that little one. Okay, but, yeah, I did, but, oh, okay, but that isn't the one I'm seeing, though. I just feel like him on a little animal in there, and I saw in the pictures that you can climb on little animals in there, but it's like, I feel like him wearing this little felt cowboy hat. That's just what I'm seeing the, image of. It just feels like he's waving high. Yeah, it just feels like he looked and he's waving high. He just like I feel like hugging him, or he's climbing into my arms as like had to have a hug. But it's not really my arms. It's probably, your chest and arms. That feels like that's what it's like going through me to you of yeah, of just like climbing into your arms and putting his head on your chest. That's what it feels like. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I got chills on my legs too. And then I don't know if he called. Oh, I shouldn't even say it. Okay, so anyways, he wants to say hi to others. I'll just say that. He's doing it with his hand again. I'm like waving with his hand, but he's not smiling though. He looks like a little sad or just confused a little bit. But he just like looks like yeah, he just looks like he needs like a hug. And he looks like he's just climbing into your arms and stuff, but he just needs so much comforting and so much love. But that's the most he's come out since this all of them. That's the most I've seen him come out. Yeah, I got chills. Yeah, so this is must be a little trust built up. The oh, I got chills on the whole side of my body. On your nose. Yeah. Okay, so yeah. So on the other side, all the spirits have to learn how to do mediumship as well. And so yeah, yeah. Well, all of them do. All of them do. Like the more they do it, the better they get. Literally on their side too. So Charles is like top notch by now. And that like yeah, he wanted to give you that hug, and he wanted to help JJ get over to your lap and to connect with you like that. And then Charles still has me at this restaurant, and I there's so much that's happened that's like okay, I'll say whatever I see, and then we'll just figure out if it's like my imagination got in there or what. I don't know, but because I just say that. Okay, like outside, I know there isn't like a real wooden ground or whatever, wooden under the patio or wooden walkway. There might not be, but then, and I'm seeing from the photo that I looked at yesterday, the little payphone sign there, and okay, so he just I'm being directed to that payphone sign. Because the obvious question is, wow, is that the one Laura used? Um, but I want to get whatever I get from him, not from me. Trying to say it. So I would just say that he's directed me to there. It could be the one that she used. It could be the payphone she used. So, but you feel something wrong? Um, yeah, kind of a weird feeling. Like, yeah, I got spirit energy. So if, oh, I got chills and stuff. So if she was there, if the FBI and all them have determined that she was there with Alex, then that would be the payphone that she used. So from there, she would have called at that same time Alex was there. If they're able to know what phone calls went out, they would know who she was calling and why. Um, so that's real interesting. And I do got quite a bit of spirit energy on that. So I do believe, yeah, I do believe that's legitimate. And I might have been getting the chills from whatever I said right before that, which is about her using the phone and then that being a way to know who she was, yeah, it was who she was calling in relation to when they were now leaving the park. So there's something I'm feeling of something being set up, right? Um, so who we're calling in relation to leaving the park, from, I'm feeling her, it's the whole thing about her using the payphone again. She may very well have had her cell phone. So I'm not saying she didn't. That was before me wondering. But if they have determined that she was there as well, then that payphone would be the one that there was a call made from. I want to clear it because I don't want to be saying weird stuff. It's like I'm seeing the seaplane again. It's so bizarre. Um, yeah, and why would I? It's like we couldn't find it for nothing. So I'm like, well, yeah, yeah. I know, I know, huh? Okay. Yeah, yeah. Let me clear out and try to connect with my guides, and then make sure I've got a real good tight link with him, and maybe even request that we just deal with Arizona or no, because it's like, well, maybe there's stuff that, well, no, they show what they want to show, and really, even if you try to make them do something, they show it to you anyways. They'll just cloak it and whatever you. I know they'll like when before, what did they do? Yeah, I wasn't wanting to see a death, so then they just showed me a different way, whether I liked it or not. So, like, that's what I mean. So we can't totally demand, but I can clear the energy and see. I guess, oh, he keeps doing things that are important to him still about this, because, so, okay, so about he wants me about this. He's pointing out. So this is serious to him. We're making light of it, but it's serious to him. And so, and so, and so, he's showing me his watch, how he showed me on his watch the 2745. Then we've got the trapper. Then we've got that warehouse. Because I'm going to put it out there, and it could be totally 100% wrong. But due diligence says, look, I saw this thing in a previous vision, and I see it up the street, um, and it could be torn down for now, but this could have been where this happened. Yeah, oh yeah, and I got the little rise in spirit energy, so these things needs to be looked at. But then he brought me back to there. This was he's repeatedly shown me a sickle for this is since the bodies have been found. So this is at that last reading, and when I'm meditating, it keeps coming up. So it's really important to him. I think he's trying to get the message through to the law enforcement or whatever about a sickle, and they would know. Maybe they saw it on the wall. Maybe they took it. There's something about it that he keeps trying to bring up, and besides the obvious, and yeah, yeah. So there's something. Now I see the big fire again. I wonder if he tried to burn it in the fire. See, I'm not supposed to wonder. Okay, but anyways, now I see the big fire again. So he's reminded me of these things that are important to him. The thing at I don't remember if they say that was Yellowstone or it just says Yellowstone on the sign, that little burger bar or whatever that what's his face was at. Alex was at that burger bar, and then we saw the picture, and then it was like there's the taxidermy, there's this, there's that. But anyways, right next door is the sign for a payphone, and I don't know. It's like I'm getting these flashes so fast, so it's like, if they have determined that Lori was there. Maybe she wasn't even there and I'm all wrong. I don't know. But if they determine that, then that's the self. That's the payful right there. At that time period, it shouldn't be that hard if they keep lists of every phone call. Okay, so these things are important to Charles. It's not that I'm trying to drone on in them. And then and it's important for him. And he seems real serious. Okay. I think we might be ready to go to Arizona now. I feel like we're going into that house with the where he got murdered at. I feel like we're walking in the front door right now. I feel like I'm looking through the body cam of that cop that they put it on TV or they put it on YouTube or whatever, and because I'm feeling like I'm looking at Charles' body. He's showing me, I don't know, I just feel like it's almost like he was on his side, but then someone put him on his back or something. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe rolled him over to make sure he was dead or something before they called he called the police or something. I don't know. Now I'm like moving it a little ahead of myself, but it just, yeah. So I didn't see her yet. It's like the guy, Alex pushes him over pushes his shoulder, like he's laying crumpled on his side, and then Alex uses his foot to push his shoulder over to make sure, like, see if he's dead and make sure he's like dead. And Alex is kind of smiling, like Alex is like got this weird, like that he would do something like that. And Lori, ugh. But I don't see her yet. I'm thinking of her, so I don't want to put her there. Like if I think of her like that, then I'll just start wondering where she is and stuff. But I want to make sure I get everything from him. So Alex, I'm seeing Alex, like, of course, waiting and stuff. It looks to me like another time when Charles showed me Alex waiting. He was, well, and stuff is figurative sometimes too. Like if they want to give me the idea of someone waiting, because what I saw was a man standing there drinking coffee, looking out the window, waiting for him to show up. That's how I know it was an ambush. And this time I see Alex, like he's walking around the living room with the gun. But I'm not sure if, Charles is already there yet. It's all kind of blending together. It might be Charles has to really link in with me too. And there's a lot of somebody pacing around. And I'm not sure if it's Charles' energy right now or Alex's. It's like, why does Alex goes by the sliding door? And I don't know that Charles is even there yet, or if I'm just feeling Charles' energy a little agitated or a little this whole thing high strung or something. But it's like I get Alex by the back door, by a sliding door, and he's standing there with a gun, like he's amped up in his mind. I'm not sure if he already shot him. Like, it kind of feels like he already shot him. I think he's just trying to calm down the explosion in his mind. Maybe that's why I'm getting that high-strung, agitated feeling. He has to be able to, like, pull himself down to be able to make the necessary phone call or something like that. And I'm just kind of asking Charles to take me away from there and take me back to where, like if he was at a hotel or whatever he was, but take me back to somewhere else and then just show me like so that we understand whatever we're supposed to understand about this. He said murder is messy. Like, he's trying to say something. It's hard when you know, you could tell they're trying to talk, but you can't really understand the words very much. Oh, are you picking up on anything? Because, okay, so now what I'm seeing is, that's the thing, I've seen so much media lately, and I think, but it's, I'm seeing the media thing they released lately about him standing in front of that hotel and trying to get help, trying to ask for help from the police or whoever they were about Lori's behavior and the things she was into and threatening to kill him and doing all that stuff. He didn't say threatening to kill him, I just had him that, but obviously we already know that. But I'm just... So I tried to get help. So we're back. We're walking back into that house again. So, like, you know, anyone could say, okay, I'm just gonna, don't worry about what people say, but obviously he walks like, he walks like in there and he's like 10 feet in the door or whatever. It's like, calling JJ, come on. It feels like, I'm just going to keep saying what I see, even though whether it will be right or wrong, but it feels like it's Tylee's job to keep JJ in the room right now. It more feels like, what they tell Tylee is, we're going to have a talk with him. And you keep JJ in the room or something like that. But then when she is doing that, Alex is out there with the gun. Alex, of course, is enjoying it because he likes power. He get over. It makes him feel good to feel like he has power to just kill somebody or whatever. But he hasn't shot him yet. Charles is still standing up. But it looks like Alex is smiling at him in a sick way, sick way. And it's like Lori is saying snarly things. I just want to keep letting it clear and clear and clear. But okay, I'll tell you what it feels like. It feels like she's telling Alex, shoot her. Shoot him. Just shoot him. Like, she's first, like, just being a mean person, and that's what it feels like right now. And then I'll see if it keeps clearing and showing me the same thing, or if it shows me something different. Then that's actually a good way of making sure it's not your imagination or anything like that, because you could play into it. And so just acknowledge kind of all the shock from the last week or whatever. But so it feels like Laura is just like snapping at Alex to shoot him. Actually, I don't even see Tylee there. In there. And, she might have been starting to come out, but not with a bat. It doesn't feel like with a bat. I think it might have been to see what you guys are doing. Like, I don't know if Tylee saw what happened, but then JJ was still in the room yet. It feels like Tylee is like almost into the hallway, not with a bat in her hand or anything else. Like, but I'll have to have them show me a bunch of times. It feels like more like, she knows that they're like, I'm trying to get her exact thought. Doing something wrong, going too far against my stepdad. Like, this kind of feeling like she gets about to the end of the hall. But it feels like, Tylee gets to the end of, or just, I don't know how much of a hall it is, but it's a little short hall or something like that. But anyway, I feel like she just looks her mom right when, like, it feels to me like when Alex is shooting Charles, she's looking her mother right, and her mother looks her right in the eye. Like, it just, their eyes just meet. Like, it wasn't intentional. Like, their eyes just meet, and she just, like, she sees her mom just told her uncle to shoot her stepdad. And I'm getting chills on my legs right now. So this is what happened. Big chills on my legs. Big chills. Are you getting big chills? I'm getting big chills. Like, my whole legs are big chills. So this is what happened. And, she sees. That somehow, I'm just going to stay with her a minute, although what happens, I know, is it's like they're showing me a mass rush happens, but then we're going to stay here in slow-mo, and really, like, look at this, because Tylee's standing, I wouldn't say right at the entrance to the room, but within a couple feet of the entrance, where she didn't see Charles get hit, I don't think. Like, she knows that, but it's like more her mom and their eyes just meet. And it's like, there's no going back from, I feel like saying the evil that lurks below the surface. From seeing her mom and just pure evil, I'm seeing her mom for who she really is, but it's deeper than that. It's just deeper than that. It's like a knowing of them both that she sees how evil her mom is all the way to the core. She's just staring at her mom like just speechless. But then that's when Lori's yelling at them to get out, to go, get out, go, and stuff like that. I see Lori like moving her arms like, how you tell kids to rush out to a car or whatever. Let me just go into kind of quietness and let them show me in their order they want to show me. Because so then Lori takes off with them. That's what I'm being shown. I know there's nothing about ever that I saw. No bat. I'm just going to let all of it clear and let them go wherever they go, show me there. Just whatever, just be all clear and then... Yeah, because I could build it and keep going and going and going, but I'd hate to, go up the wrong way. So I'd rather, with something like this, be so careful. So, okay, so, they dropped JJ off at school. And Tylee's mom is, really, yelling at her. I even feel like she's trying to get her to eat some of JJ's medicine or something like that. She's pulling something out. I feel like she's pulling something out and trying to... I don't know if Tylee does or not. I haven't seen it yet, but I just feel maybe she's getting out for herself. I don't know. I was just assuming it was JJ's medicine. I'm not sure if she's trying to eat it or to get Tylee to eat it. I'm not sure what she's doing, but she's in the car. She's like shaking around a prescription pills. I feel like she wants Tylee to eat one, but I don't think Tylee's necessarily going to go in for that because she's like putting her hands up and, you know, feels like going, like that and stuff. I'm trying, Lori's talking so fast, I'm trying to understand what she's like yelling about, but she's really yelling. She's looking in every direction, so however she jumps around calm and cool, like in front of that cop, like just a few minutes later, is not how she's acting in the car with Tylee at all. I don't know what she's saying to her, though. She's like, I can only assume she's yelling at her what to say and to threats and stuff, but I don't know. I just know she's snapping, and Lori keeps looking in different directions. Like, Lori's like, at the point, she is not acting how she acts in front of those cops in the car with Tylee before they get back there. We're not back there, and in this, I haven't got back there. I just know from watching TV or YouTube or whatever they got back there eventually. But in the car after they dropped off JJ, Lori's like totally high strung, kind of flipping out, digging through her purse, or maybe not her purse. She's digging through something. Yeah, it's probably a purse, but she's like freaking out. I think trying to get her story straight, or trying to make sure. She keeps yelling at Tylee like it's Tylee's fault or something. It's like she's trying to make Tylee feel like it's her fault. Like that's how she's trying to make her say whatever she wants her to say or whatever. But it's not even a nice way. It's like real threatening, real moving around in the car in a crazy way, and kind of moving her head back and forth and moving her body back and forth and stuff like that. She's not doing it. I don't think it's not like she's purposely moving all those ways. It's that she's all high strung from that. So when she goes back up in front of the cops, that's her act. She's got that thing down. She's like a chameleon. But there's something. Her and her brother have this weird thing that they both like this kind of thing. It's like they have an evil streak between them, which, you know, like the whole world knows, but they're just showing me this connection, like a ribbon or a, you know, attachment between each other of this shared evil. It's a real weird energy vibration, like they share between them, each other, of kind of this sick enjoyment of they like hurting other people. And then I'm seeing Lori as a cheerleader, which we see the pictures of her as a cheerleader, and it's like how it all okay, I'll just say what they say. It just feels like I'm reminded about, okay, so the other day when I was like, some thought came into my head about Lori, and then it was that about Carla Homolka, the lady up in Canada, who murdered 3 women with her husband, and so I watched a documentary on him, but that's coming back into my mind. It was like I think the cheerleading thing was just the expert on putting on an act. Like, it's like it was a whole act. Like, it wasn't even like someone would put on a front where they, you could tell they're putting on a front. She had a whole act that covered, like, it was every very thick act, but that she could take it off, and then there's like the evil viper or whatever. I feel like I just hear rush to get help. He's just talking about how he tried to get help. He's going back through trying to get help. It's like, what more can I do? I just feel like he's sitting there with JJ on his lap, and then Ty's standing next to him. But they're not. It's not that they're not happy, but they're not sad, but it's like where there would be a family portrait, but it's not happy. He's like, it's like if two kids were kind of crying, and then he's like, has his arms around both of them and his hands on the whole top of their head. Like, how man's hands are bigger, and put them on the top of their head to put their heads on his chest and saying it's not easy. I'm just seeing him, I'm just trying to get help. This feeling of like, he's just trying to reach out everywhere he can to try to get help with this nightmare. And, it's just a feeling of that, and showing me just a feeling of like talking to the wind or nobody listening. So it feels to me like he was pleading. He's standing, I'm getting chill on my leg. He's standing there, almost crying, like they're like not right next to him. I mean, they're in the same room, but it's like there's no scuffle going on. It's like he's like puts one of his hands up, and he's like, no. He is saying that. He's like, I love my wife. Like, please, you guys. Please, and he's trying to, he's like, he's not crying, but he's like pleading almost, like, I mean, it is like almost crying. It's like my friend said at the seance, I love my wife, and please, like, you don't do this, you don't have to do this, she needs help, whatever. And she's like yelling at Alex to shoot him, and Alex shoots him. Wait a minute, let me make sure Alex is the one who shoots him. I shouldn't leap ahead like that. Okay, so where I was with them, because I okay, I'm done now, Alex shoots him. No, okay, we're just gonna go back and see what happens, because, okay, so Charles is standing there. There's actually not any aggression whatsoever coming from Charles. He's not even raising his voice. He's actually pleading and trying to, like, that's why Lori's yelling at Alex to do it, because I think he's trying to tell Alex that Lori's, like, needs mental help or something. Like, yeah, I got chills. So he's trying to, huge chills. So what's happening is he's trying to tell Alex that Lori's having a mental break. Lori's having mental problems. We need to get her help. Don't do it, Alex. Don't do it. But Lori's like furious furious, like, ordering, like, Alex, and let's see what happens here. We'll see if she grabs a gun or if he shoots. That's what I have to relax enough to see, but I got huge, huge chills all over my legs on that. So this is what Charles was doing. He was trying to, like, make this, and I got chills. I'm getting chills again. He was trying to placate the situation. He was trying to calm the situation. He was trying to help Alex understand that Lori needs to get some mental help, and Lori's like demanding and furiously yelling, you know, raising her voice and ordering Alex to shoot him. That's what happened. And then but I'll have to watch until Charles puts, and he has to build up an image, and so to make sure if it was Alex or Lori that did it. So that's a for sure. 100%. I'm getting chills even again. It is 100% for sure that's what happened. So when Charles comes in or whatever to get JJ, that Tylee is told to keep JJ in his room, but she's, I think, under the impression that they're going to have a talking with him or something, not the everything else. And then, but she hears the way things are going, so she starts to come out. She's not coming out with, I didn't see her come out with a bat at all. She more came out to like, it's not that she was fully aware of the extent of it, but that she was came out. Let's see. I have to let myself go blank because then I'm like, well, is there a bat? If there's a bat, show me a bat. Did someone put a bat somewhere? Did they just like but that's okay. So that's what I'm getting the second time, and what I'm getting is that's what Charles was. Charles didn't make any aggressive moves. Like, he was very careful to attempt to calm the situation, to just, like, you know, like, reason with Alex, and Lori's like, she's almost like some kind of demon or something. So I'm pretty sure Tyler was not supposed to see that directly. I feel really sure of that. I feel like I'm just floating in space right now. Oh, you know what they're doing? They're just giving me a little bit of healing or whatever, so I can just it's really sad. It's like coming to a moment where you actually, she sees Tylee sees Lori, Tylee sees her mom. I keep feeling like saying with her black eyes, but I don't know if I'm adding that, but just with just, she sees her down, she sees her to her soul, she sees who she really is, she sees that her mom's ordering Alex to murder her stepfather. At this point, I think, at this point, it just feels like Tylee is just, I don't see JJ. It's like she goes to get, I don't see him going by. I don't see how they do this. But maybe I don't, maybe I'm trying too hard, but I just feel Tylee's just kind of like utter devastation all at once. Like your entire whole life just went out of air of a balloon. I think she's trying to make sure, like, she's just trying to get JJ to safety, and she sees her mom. it's almost, well, it's not almost. What I would say is it's too insane to process. And her mom's yelling and screaming at her. And not, is she Yana screaming there too? I don't know. I think she still is, even with JJ in the car. She's yelling at Tylee like it's all Tylee's fault. I think she's trying to convince Tylee that they were only going to scare him, and now he shot him because it's her fault. It's all her fault. She's trying to like make a bunch of threats. It feels like she's even saying like, you'll go to jail, this, that, this, that, this, that. You're the one who caused it. Like she's just saying anything. Lori's just saying anything, yelling and screaming at her. And I think Tylee is. It just feels like the feeling when something so shocking happens that you can't process it really. Like, you're just stunned or something like. I think she's really afraid of her mom, but in a way not like someone would be afraid and run down the street, like where the wind is taken away, afraid. Like dark night with no air, afraid. See, I keep wondering if Alex didn't do it, if Lori took the gun, but then me wondering that, I wouldn't want to make it happen. So, like, I really want to clear, because I want to see, because, like, what, two people in the last week have mentioned that to me, and I have wondered that too, and so that's why I don't want it to affect my mediumship, so I want to make sure whatever I get. So far I know that this much is true, all that I've said. I know that he comes in. I know that Tylee was supposed to keep JJ in his room. I don't see any baseball bat in this whole freaking thing. Whether there's one laying there or not is irrelevant to this. Doesn't freaking matter. They put it there then. And, I see, because when Tylee comes out, it's not in a, I'm going to take control of these people. It's like, more like, what is going on here? Feeling. And of Charles is a feeling of trying to be real calm with Alex and to, I love my wife. She needs help, Alex, like that kind of thing. He's purposely not going anywhere toward, stepping towards him. He's trying to defuse the situation. Lori's the one, yeah, I'm getting big chills. So Lori's the one who picked up, I don't know. Lori's the one who's, though, agitating the whole thing and agitating and demanding that Alex shoot him. And I just don't know if she grabs the gun and shoots him herself. Or if Alex is the one that did it yet, because my mind either my mind won't calm down, or it keeps wondering too much, or it's almost like I'm in this soup or something. So that's what we gotta just go blank again. But all that's 100% of my mediumship on that part, this whole part. Charles is so hurt, like emotionally. I think that's his feeling as he's like going down or got shot, is just like, he actually loved that woman, and here she is in her fullest, evil coming through, and he's just like, it's sad. There was no anger from him. There was no anger in this situation. There's no fight. Tylee, I don't see with the baseball bat ever. Tylee's at the end of the hall, though. She did come out and she did see it. But it was worse than seeing it. It was her and her mom locked. It feels like they lock eyes. And she just like knows her mom is deranged or pure evil. Like, it feels like she watches her mom with the cop, and it's like they seem to all just believe her. It's like, it feels to me like if they'd taken her, Tylee aside and said, I mean, wait, I'm going too off, but anyways, it feels to me like she's watching her mom with the police, and she just sees her mom snow them, or she feels that way, even if it's normal for them to act that way, to act calm and stuff, to get information. To her, to this 16-year-old, it feels like she's watching her mom just snow them, like put them right into the palm of her hand. I mean, I feel like I want to bite my nails or something and just like, it's almost like everything's unreal and you're like, have to act, and it's like this woman's insane. And but everyone's acting like she's okay, or like, it's a real shocked feeling. You get a sense of unreality. Just sick. Just like nauseated in unreality. Unreality on feeling for this Tylee there. And because see, I'm not accusing the cops of anything, because I know cops act totally normal so that the people will feel comfortable and tell the whole story. And but to the 16-year-old, it feels like she knows her mom is able to manipulate people easily, and she sees and feels that they'll believe her, and then her mom is the one with the power. And her mom to me feels to her like this vacuum of, like her mom wasn't even there anymore. Her mom isn't even there anymore. Whoever is this evil is like, doesn't feel like her mom anymore. Like, she's really scared. This is how it feels right in front of the house when all the, body cam all that whole time. Yeah, and I got chills. This is what's really going through Tylee's feelings at that time. It feels like she's heard her mom talk about these things, and I'm gonna acknowledge that I'm aware that her mom has even said things to her about this line of thought. They're evil and their possession and they're this and that. So Lori has not held back in I feel like saying training, but her teaching to Tylee, she's like, and I don't know that she's trying to get Tylee to go for it, because Lori feels to me like it's like she believes it so hardly anyway. She just doesn't. It's hard to explain. It's like so part of Lori's reality that but she's said it enough times in front of Tylee that Tylee's pretty terrified that the reverse may have happened, or not quite. I might be saying it right and I might be not saying it right. I don't know the exact words, but I feel like Tylee's wondering if her mother is actually become dark, as they were using these terms, because it feels like Lori, she's seen Lori go back and forth, and Lori, put on an act and then act a different way. She's seen that a lot. Maybe her whole life or maybe years. I don't know. But she's seen Lori be like that, and she knows her mom is like that. And she knows her mom has talked these things. And she's now like out there in this state of unreal. It feels like on an acting stage or something. And she's watching her mom. And I have like kind of a sick feeling of chills on my legs, but she's watching her mom and she's looking at her manipulating the cop, and she's kind of at that point wondering who's in her really mom, then who's really in her mom or something, or like because her mom is saying all these things in front of her all the time, and it even threatened her, you know. And so, and I want to make sure not to go off, but okay, so her is looking at her mom and seeing that she feels like her mom isn't even in there in her body anymore. Like, but not in a way where she believes their whole thing, but just like she's in a state of shock on a whole nother level. That's how it feels, like a whole nother level than a normal person would be in a state of shock. Now I've got whole chills. Okay, so on a whole state of shock, on a normal level of, I get big chills. So on a normal level, a normal person would react to this insane situation by going into shock and being in a state of unreality. Um, Tylee is that, and now wondering if what her mom said was true, but that her mom is actually, I don't want to say the demon or something because it's not that strong, but that her mom is full of the darkness, or but that's not strong enough. So it's something in between, and I don't want to say possession and stuff like that because I don't know the exact word for it, but she's feeling that. So Tylee's experiencing um on a all these kinds of shock, but also on a level like the supernatural level too, because of the other issues, all these other issues, and and she just sees, she feels that her mom has the power to lie to anybody, including all these police, and that they don't seem even fazed by the fact that, like, that Charles is dead in there. And I mean, to Tylee as the 16-year-old feels like she doesn't feel phased. No, not Tylee doesn't feel phased. Tylee feels like everyone on this, it's all like they're on an acting stage, and these cops are walking, nobody seems phased like it's any big deal. They're just walking around like it's no big deal, and everyone's acting like it's no big deal. And her mom has everyone wrapped around her palm of her hand, and like I just have to step out enough to take note that they might want to use this to also change laws where if there's a situation like this, the children are immediately separated so that they can be talk to a therapist right away and get the story, because look what happened here. This child was witness to a murder but was kept there while everyone acted all normal, and I've just got chills. I got real strong spirit energy with this. I got chills on both legs. So this might be something that could be looked at as a way to do things differently. That perhaps if, Tylee was led away by a female cop and brought to a whole completely different place, and until everything was sorted out, then that's another way that things could have gone different. Things could have gone different if someone had helped Charles. Things could have gone different if Obviously, if there's months, oh yeah, see, I got huge chills on that, both legs. Things could have got, yeah, huge. She's doing it again. So huge chills about this. Looking at this whole thing, series of events that happen, huge chills on me. Huge. Both legs are just full, strong chills of looking at this series of events that happen where um, one person was able to manipulate the police, one person sitting there trying to get help, desperately trying to get help, and then there's that one issue, and then there's this other issue of what happened to this child who is what, 16, who witnesses her relatives murder, and then they just all act like it's normal, and, you know, no big deal, leave her with the mom. um that should not have happened. And I have a lot of spirit energy on that. And um, I guess I'm not supposed to say it like in a condemnation that should not have happened, but it shouldn't have happened. And definitely, there needs to be actually some actual thing about having some kind of hearing, like legislative hearing of changing the law. Um, like they could call it Tylee's law. Tylee should not have been left with her mother. I got chills on both of my legs. Tylee should not have been standing there with her mother after witnessing a murder that involved her mother and her uncle. And this is absolute. This is not any, this isn't even, this is absolute. This is like, I got chills on both legs, and there needs to be like legislation about this, and it needs to be called Tylee's Law, and it needs to be where something, you know, if a child has witnessed a murder between relatives, should the child really be left with a relative that is known to have been accused of having a restraining order and made death threats? Like, excuse me. And this isn't like me, Donna. This is what I'm getting from spirit, and I am getting chills on both legs. Like, um, okay, just let me rest for a minute and just let them. But that's like a really a peaceful energy, but an energy of admonishment, an energy of no, no, we're not going to brush this off. No, this needs to be changed. And there's enough people out there who can change this. There's enough people out there who can care about this. And I'm literally got chills up to my hips, like both of my legs and my hips. There needs to be a law. It needs to be called Tylee's Law. And they need to, not, this, where she was left in the care of her mother that day in front of, it's normal for cops, I know, because I was a social worker at juvenile parole. I know. I act normal when they say the most insane things because I want them to keep talking. That's how cops do. But to the 16-year-old, it just looked like her mom was getting away with murder, and she's terrified of her mom, not to mention she has all these other aspects going on. Like this, no, this is not okay, and this has to change. This whole thing with Charles, to examine what really happened here, and I'm getting a lot of spirit energy on this. What happened here? It's a big deal. It's a big deal even besides the crime. It's a big deal on how it was handled. The entire thing from start to finish. And that's not from me, that's from spirit. Which is Charles, in this case, in this moment. Because both Tylee and Charles, this is what I say, but both Tylee and Charles have shown me, or they're together, but this is, and spirit and all, it's a spiritual energy, and I just feel like I'm just bathing in it. I'm just floating in it, and, it's sick. Like, I feel sick to my stomach. The death of Charles should not have happened under any circumstances. The death of Tylee and JJ, it's inexcusable. This is how Charles feels. It's inexcusable. And oh, I hate to like say this because I don't want to create problems and stuff, But law enforcement has to have some responsibility as far as looking and how to change this. So it's not a matter of creating hatred or divisiveness. And I'm just getting waves of spirit energy and chills on my legs. So it's like, this is from Charles. And it's law enforcement has some responsibility in the sequence of events that happened here. And the important thing is to make the necessary changes to take it seriously enough for this never to happen again to anybody else's family. Tylee and JJ should not have been murdered. I should not have been murdered. That's like how it feels. But if things were handled appropriately, and then there's Tylee and JJ. Tylee and JJ might still be here in the physical, right? And I just feel sick to my stomach about it. So, and it's almost like I feel sick to my head too. So, it's not in a way of condemning, and it's not in a way of creating animosity or division. It is in a way that there needs to be some serious meetings about the flaws, the mistakes, the mishandling, the outright misappropriate actions of law enforcement that led to the death of Tylee and JJ. And this is, I'm having chills, literally, waves of spirit energy, like, all around my body. So this is, it's serious. There actually needs to be hearings to examine what went wrong, why this man was murdered, and why this other man was able to just act like it was a casual having your nails done, and why this child was left in this place by both the other child. Like, all of it needs to be examined, and there needs to be changes made. And it's just showing me this whole thing of going up to Idaho, and this whole thing, and Alex, and why is he walking around free? Why is he free up there why are they free to go just, like, murder up there, and, after they committed this murder? There needs to be, like, serious multi-jurisdictional studies of this case. And there's a family dead because of it. And it's a real sick feeling. I feel all bloody and stuff. Like, I mean, I have spirit energy around me, so I know I'm okay in things. But this isn't that great of a feeling to have, like, be shot in the stomach. Or shot, if I maybe was shot in the chest, but it's like my stomach hurts. And, to die that way, that's bad enough. And then, the children should never have died. And if my case was handled appropriately, those children would be alive. Tylee shouldn't, and I'm getting chills on both of my legs again. Tylee should never have been standing there on the sidewalk with her mother. She should have been separated by a female, woman, cop, victims advocate, social worker, to be, it's not deprogrammed, but, when they talk things out and stuff. And, I'm sure someone will say, oh, she was later, blah, blah. She stood there and totally, completely believed and knew that her mom owned it. Like, her mom was in control. And her mom was pure evil. And her mom was evil even on a bigger level. Like, and she's just helpless about everything. Like, in her mind. And I'm not saying whatever is going on the surface level of her mouth, because I'm in her mind, in her consciousness. It's terror. She's watching her mom, and it's like not even her mom. Or whoever, anyway. I would say, I don't know about the not her mom as their whole thing, but it's more like whoever she ever thought her mom was. She's just looking at her mom, wondering who the heck her mom is, or what got into her mom. Or maybe she is wondering if her mom got possessed, because her mom always like threatens her about that, or says something about that, or what the heck ever. Like, she's like, it's like her mom is evil blackness, but everyone's acting like everything's okay. And so that right there is something that, at the risk of like, I don't, it's just the way it is. And this is how, and Charles is feeling about this. And yeah, he seems really more serious than I've ever seen him before. He seems more serious than I've ever felt him before, actually. There's a lot of answering to do. It shouldn't be brushed under the rug. This is not my feelings. This is a feeling I'm getting from Charles. And all of that stuff I said was not my feeling. That is a feeling I was getting from Charles. All of it. All of it. It's like all you can do is get up every day, and the system failed. If the system failed, I feel like saying the system failed me. And not in a way of feeling sorry, but just because it did. And it needs to be examined, and changes need to be made. And it failed Tylee and JJ. Because if this was handled properly, that wouldn't have happened. Or it probably wouldn't have happened. It might have, but it might not have, And it feels to me like he's saying that wouldn't have happened. I just feel like I'm back in that room where he got shot. I'm just looking at Lori. It's like she's evil. She's just like smiling but mean. Just like if she wants something, she just wants something. She just doesn't care. But it's worse than that. It's like it's mean. Alex got a sick, perverse way of inflicting pain and then, or like enjoying that. But she just feels like she likes to go in for the kill. But that's it. It was just like he tried to calm the situation, defuse. He tried to defuse. He didn't step forward. That's what happened. See, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that it was more, I don't feel Laura grabbing the gun. It just more feels like her commanding him to do it. And Tylee just standing there. So Tylee's not yelling or trying to even be part of it. She definitely doesn't have a bat in her hand. Doesn't feel like it to me. I don't see it. I'm sure they placed one somewhere for this story, but the way that I see it happen is not like that. So